Now move on to the second presentation. It's from Professor Hung-Yuan Chu from Tsinghua University by title of The Changko Boom of Jungwanchon High-Tech Zone, Current Status of University-Based Technology Commercialization and Incubating. Professor Zhu is an associate professor and vice chair at the Department of Innovation, Entrepreneurship, and Strategy in Tsinghua SEM. During the last 5 years, he has published a lot of more than 10 articles and more papers in the related fields. Please welcome him with a big applause. Thank you. Yeah.
So, thanks STEPI and thank the Career Entrepreneurship Foundation. It's my great honor to be here. I have 20 minutes to explain what happened in the entrepreneurship field in China in recent years. That was unexpected for us as a long-term entrepreneurship educator. I was assigned to teach entrepreneurship course 15 years before, and at the time, from 1999 to 2006, there's a very small class size for my entrepreneurship courses until 2008. I'm trying to explain to you what happened during this kind of what happened during these days, and what's the major role university played in this ecosystem. The first challenge comes from the unexpected challenge in economic development of Chinese economy. I just get some kind of neighbors here. So numbers here. So here's China. This is Chile, and Korea, that's here. So even if after several years of high growth, we are still here. Yeah, very, very small, like like me, very short. And Korea, so it's here. So even if we are at a very low-level economy development stage, we encounter kind of problems. This is the GDP growth rate every year. From look at in the right. So from 2000, we have a fairly good economic growth rate until 2007. So from the point 14%. And after 2008, we are the economic growth rate going down very obviously. That means in the year last year, we only get 7.8% of economic growth. This year maybe even lower. So that's our problem. Some of you may know there's a so-called mid-income trap, which happens in some other countries when they grow from the low level to the mid-income level, and then they stay there and cannot get out. Fortunately, Korea is a great example for us to go out the so-called mid-income trap. So for the Chinese, that's why the Chinese government and the academic world and also industry feel about. So we are trying to find a solution for this. Maybe that's entrepreneurship. So from the government side, this administration, when they took place in the end of 2012, they think it's clear that entrepreneurship and innovation is the only solution for the economy. So they took a lot of measures, major reforms in this field, and this I just get some kind of measures they took. President Hu Jintao proposed this in October 2005. That's more than 10 years before. But the execution of the policy is not so good until this administration. So, series of policies supporting small and micro business, especially for the innovation type, approved in 2012. And our Prime Minister permissively announced the policy called Mass Entrepreneurship and Innovation Policy in recent years. So I will not go into the details about this kind of policy, but I will show you some kind of results. This is the entrepreneurship monitor program. We get data from entrepreneurship, global entrepreneurship monitor program. That we will see the entrepreneurship status in China. This is the this reflects the activities of entrepreneurship in China, which you can see among other countries we have very active entrepreneurship activities. The thing is that and these entrepreneurship new ventures have very high growth expectation. And when we go to, this goes to the another question. So why China's entrepreneurship are so active now in China? If we go, so the interesting thing is, unlike some other countries, entrepreneurship in China are both type coexist. There's one is that we call the opportunity driven. Another is we say necessity driven. What we call necessity driven is that when young people when go into the job market, he or she cannot find a job, so he or she has to create her own business. For China, we have both this kind of entrepreneurship and necessity-driven entrepreneurship. In the recent years, there's a clear trend that the opportunity-driven comes as the majority of the entrepreneurship type in China. So why is that? So if we go to look at the whole microsystem of China's economic system, we can say here's the things. Here's the major driving force that. This is the GDP, R&D intensity of the whole country. If we say China, here's China. What's Korea? That's Korea. In the economic development series, there's a so-called science and technology takeoff series, which means that the nation's innovation intensity below 1% is grow very slowly. And after that, it will grow very fast until to the 2%. And then the country will go into a innovation-based economy system. For China, we very long time we are below 1%. Until 2001, we barely go into 1%. And in 2013, we passed 2% of the innovation intensity. At that time, at that age, the whole economy goes from so-called resource-driven to the innovation-driven. By the way, Korea is very outstanding in this kind of in this scale. So if we go to the so-called people, the R&D investment it goes to grow very fast, even after the 2008 financial crisis. That's the researchers. Now in China, we have one of the biggest engineering pool all over the world in science and technology tool. So that's a patent. Patent this year, we will be the #1 in the filing of patent all over the world. That's a huge amount. So I'm not going to these detailed numbers because of the time limits. Fortunately, I have put these numbers in the outline. So what the results is that within these 2 years, there is a called Global Innovation Index. In the Global Innovation Index, they say China is a kind of a global major force for innovation and entrepreneurship. So the conclusion is that new innovation hotspots are emerging in China within these 2 years. Then I will give you some kind of numbers about the ecosystem, how many, especially how many venture capital firms and the venture capital funds there. So you can see how it goes from very inactive for the entrepreneurship activity now goes to such very hot topics in China. So I give you some kind of this is the venture capital investment. That's the money raised, the fund raised from 2006 to 2014. You can see there's one thing. There is a trend in 2006 and 2008 is growing very fast. But there's one question. During the global financial crisis, this trend was stopped and then goes to very, very low level. And then it grows very fast again. Just after 2 years, they get recovery here. So the other thing is that the investment, there are a lot of investment now as a VC investment in China. From the growth rate are very very high. From 2006 till 2014, very high growth rate. So I will skip this one, and then we have get a very open stock market for the very small and entrepreneurial firms, and let them to get listed in the Shenzhen market. So this is the numbers of companies who get IPOs in the open market. So you can see a huge amount of entrepreneurial companies get listed in the public markets. These provide an exit channel for the venture capitalists and angel investment. So another very interesting trend is about the angel investment. In the United States, a lot of angel investment comes from angel or personal or not so formal. But in China, nowadays, more and more angel investment gets to form a formal fund. There's people who help them to manage the venture fund there. So it's not at the scale set, the first angel investment may be a million RMB, which is roughly not 200,000 US dollars. But this kind of money is managed by a kind of professional organization. The reason for that is that more and more people want to enter into this market, but they don't have a professional judgment about the investment. So incubators. So this is, I was asked to talk about the incubators in China. So in 2014, there are 1,600 incubators all over China. In Beijing, there's 150 there, and with 9,000 incubated enterprises settled in Beijing. That's a lot of new startups. Over 300 teams in the, we call the 创业 Street, which is the entrepreneurship street in Zhongguancun, with 150 of which have received financing, either early stage or A round. So there's for the trunk space in the nationwide is still in the initial stage. Now is around 70 nationwide, but we expect it will grow very fast in the next 2 years. So, yeah, this is the location of incubators in China. You know, we just did you know, we don't have the formal statistics about this, or the statistics are not so accurate. What we did is very easy. We just, you know, Google it or Baidu it to say, where is the, you know, incubators there in China. You can see a lot of incubators along. There are 3 major fields about incubators. This is the Yangtze River, and this is Beijing, and this is Guangzhou and Shenzhen. This is the 3, and they are these 3 major concentration of incubator and entrepreneurship activities in China. Basically, there are 4 cities. One is Beijing, the other is Shanghai, the third is Shenzhen, which is here, and also there's one is another city. The 4th city is Hangzhou. So let's talk about the Zhongguancun. This is the Zhongguancun. This is the Zhongguancun. Zhongguancun, actually, that's we call 创业 Street. That's the entrepreneurship street. Initially, it's not named 创业 Street. It's not named entrepreneurship street. But this, the Haidian district government once goes to Tsinghua with the science park, the manager of science park, saying, so can we just cooperate to renovate this street and set up it for the entrepreneurship, entrepreneurship space. So the Haidian district government invests 200 million RMB in housing renovation and cooperate with Tsinghua Science Park, that's a university spin-off, to set up a so-called trunk space in this whole region, and also to give not only the space and other kind of incubation services, like kind of the fast restoration, and also, you know, you can get some kind of legal advice or tax advice there. So at that, there's 4,000 entrepreneurial teams along less than 3 meters of the street in Zhongguancun. Here's the Zhongguancun. And there's 36 entrepreneurship new startups every day. You can say there's, let me see, yes. Yes, this is you know, a cafeteria, which is they call trunk space. This is cafeteria. This bingo cafe is another space. And this is 3W Coffee, is also a trunk space. And this is they call the Black Force, is also a trunk space. This is a highly concentrated space for the entrepreneurship firms. If you went there, you know, after a while, there may be 3 teams of young people asking you, so, are you a venture investor here? So, This is the first trunk space in Zhongguancun, the first commercial one. This was not supported by the government, just by an entrepreneur. This is a guy who who was a high-level manager of a Baidu company, and he quit from there, and just want to have a kind of easy life there. So he just opened up a coffee because he know that in the United States, especially in Silicon Valley, a lot of companies start up in the garage. So they called this cafeteria kind of 车库, which means the garage coffee there. And he just run this in the early stage. If you are entrepreneur there, you can went there and have a coffee from 8 o'clock until 10 p.m. Just one coffee, and then you still doing your jobs there and meet your customers there. So that's the first one. That was, you can see a lot of entrepreneurship teams there. Somebody just, some team just have 2 spaces there. That's the 车库 coffee, and also this is another kind of coffee. This is based on Tsinghua, our university. This guy, Qin Jun, is a successful investor, and also is our alumni. So he have a lot of, alumni or students to ask him for advice. So he just set up a cafeteria and meet those, entrepreneurs there. So that's the Qin Jun's coffee. Another, I'm show you another coffee. I'm sorry. I'm show you another. There's another one. Yes, that's 1898. That's a coffee linked to the alumni network of Peking University. So you can say this is in this ecosystem. The network resources linked each other together to try to foster the entrepreneurship. And at the government side, the government provide kind of initial support, and they are kind of policy support and also a bit financial support. So this is about the cafeteria. Okay, talking about the role, we as a university organization and the professors, what we do, there's basically there are 2 things we are doing. The number one is the X Lab. X Lab we are doing is that Tsinghua SEM, the School of Economics and Management, we cooperate with the other 14 engineering schools and departments joined to set up the educational platform for those entrepreneurs. And we also have a partnership with the Tsinghua Entrepreneur and Executives Club. That's our alumni association called TAC. And the Tsinghua Science Park, that's the Tsinghua spin-off to our strategical partners. Right now, there are 338 projects in process covering, various industries. One of the 11 groups, innovation space, is recognized by the government, by the so-called Beijing government. The Beijing government, if you qualify for this, you can, in the operation, you can get some kind of neither financial support, and also, the company within you, the startup in your company get a tax reduction there. This is X Lab. Basically, those is our associate dean, and those are the partners from different kind of department and schools. And this is the head of the TAC, and those in pink are those entrepreneurs. And another one is is called trunk space. In English, they call it maker space. This was made established in the August 2013. In the initial stage, they are just a students' organization. they want to have a space to do kind of hardware renovation things. So they went to the this engineering center for the university, saying, can we use the facility there for us to do some kind of testing and prototyping? And the university agreed. So then they name themselves the Tsinghua Makespace. On November 2040, the first Tsinghua Chuanke Day, that's the Maker Day, was held, and then cooperated with the makers from the United States to set up a Chuanke competition there. So then it's kind of a movement for around the campus, because Tsinghua has a lot of engineering students there. They want to compete with each other to do a different kind of innovations on the hardware. So this is a so-called I Center. This is the space. So what I'm trying to share with you about our innovation things is that we set up the innovation and entrepreneurship activity based on our economic situation. Because without innovation and entrepreneurship, we will be very hard to keep our economy go forward. And then in this, there are a lot of partners, not only the professors and the universities, and also the investors, local government, and also league organizations, and also our alumni, to work together to set up the new, we call entrepreneurship-friendly ecosystem in China and Beijing. Okay, so I think I'm not using out the time. I will leave some kind of time for the question and answer.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Professor Chu. Okay, I quickly choose one from the questions. 현재 중국 창업의 열풍이 일시적인 현상일지 아니면
Wait.
Okay.
There's a Korean in the change it to English. Yes.
Sorry. 현재 중국 창업의 열풍이 일시적인 현상일지 아니면 지속될 것인지에 대한 간단한 답변을 부탁드리겠습니다.
Yes. The question is that the startup boom in China is sustainable or just temporary. Our judgment, yes. If we go to this, okay. So for me, I think they will some kind of wave up and down for a while, but long-termly it should be sustainable, because otherwise nowadays China's economic system is undergoing a significant change from the we call investment-driven growth to a kind of innovation growth, innovation-driven growth. The small and middle-sized companies now account for most part of the economic growth. So and also we have a kind of friendly entrepreneurship-friendly policy there, and the whole ecosystem. We have a lot of investors and also technology innovation resources, like technologies there, and young people, especially those young people, those 1980s growing, born in 1980s and 1990s, they just don't want to work for the big companies. They want to be the boss of themselves. So, and there are a lot of technology there, and there are a lot of money there, investment there. So I would cautiously suggest that is a kind of sustainable trend, even though there may be some kind of up and down.
Okay, thank you very much. Please give Professor Ju a round of applause. Thank you. Okay.